we as commissioners got bits and pieces from time to time and heard about it, and even got some words from you, but we thought, you know, there's not a time when we've really kind of cross-examined you and had a full report on how all these things came about with regard to idle reduction. And we thought we'd like to have you come in and describe a little bit about how you kind of discovered that need, what were the steps, what did you do to bring it about, and what has been the effect. We'd like to hear it in your words. And then we're going to go ahead and cross-examine you otherwise. You know that.
We're going to have to.
You want your attorney present?
We'd like you advised that, no, go ahead.
You take an exceptional fall. You were prepared, aren't you?
Oh, yeah. It's all right up here. It started out by Jim Gillard asking what we can do with our department to make sure that we take care of our firefighters and the exhaust that we have in our buildings and things like that. It added up to a lot of cancers and things like that. So he was concerned with the firefighters and taking care of them. And so the first step we did is we got a grant for $7,000 from the Clean Air Agency, Puget Sound Clean Air Agency, to put catalytic converters on some of our vehicles. At that point, it kind of went by the wayside, and then Jim started looking into a grant to find out if we could get the extraction systems that we currently had that Bruce had just got installed. The Department of Ecology would not fund that because they were more interested in stopping the exhaust than just transferring the exhaust outside. So Jim asked me what I could do, and I really went back to the old school systems. We went back to the things that we always did. We isolated the batteries out like we did on the medic units, and then we ran a generator. At that point, in deciding what we wanted to do, we just started looking in the fire service and what the fire service will provide as far as what we're used to and what we're used to ordering, things that we can order and put on our trucks that would work well for us but are in the industry and we don't have to spend a lot of money on. At that point in time, Jim wrote the grant and we received the grant for a pilot program. In the pilot program, we installed the battery backup systems in the medic units and in the 2 generators and the pumpers. And at that time, we started the pilot program, and it was, in my estimation, it was fairly successful for the fire service. We know that projects like this could be a good success or could be not so successful, depending on the people that you're building the system for. Apparently, the firefighters and medics, they enjoyed this system. After the pilot program, Cummings came back and they also said that one of the things that we had not remembered is that as they're sitting on the scene and these diesels, the diesel engine has a pressure system, they're not like a car, so all of that oil vapor goes out onto the ground, and as they're sitting there, that vapor starts coming back up through the cab. So Cummings said they had a way to take care of that, and we put another system, the CVC system on it, a crankcase ventilation capture system. And at that point, they also said we can go ahead and put all of the other catalytic converters on the rest of the equipment we needed. So it was kind of a threefold system. And at that time, when we started the pilot program, it was a success. The Department of Ecology came up with the money to start funding the rest of our program. We're still not 100% finished. We have a few vehicles that we got new that need to go into the system, and because of the success of the system, everybody in the county and now starting to be in the state wants a system because it's funded through grants. They see the benefit of it. The benefit of it to us is that as the economy got worse, we couldn't afford to buy the trucks like we used to, so we had to make them extend their lives. So the way they extend their lives is instead of idling for hours and hours on the side of the road, we shut the trucks down, and now we're not doing the oil changes, and we're not replacing vehicles near as often as because now we're not putting those miles on. Every idle hour is about 30 miles driving miles. So we've seen a significant reduction in the traveling mileage on these vehicles. We started seeing the longevity creep a little bit. I think that's about the only thing that we're really, it's helping me in the shop right now because we're not having near the breakdowns and things like that because of that. And we have a lot of fuel savings if we shut the trucks down, especially the big trucks. We shut those down and we run the generators. They're the Tier 4, they're the cleanest diesel engines out there. and they're the quietest diesel engines, and they're also the least amount of fuel burning engines. And so we've seen the reduction in fuel costs of just running the generators and then also shut the medic units off. And really, that's about all. That's really kind of about all it is.
Now, that has had other consequences also, has it not, beyond the benefits to our department?
Yeah, we started promoting the system. I was allowed to go to the Portland Fire Expo last year as a vendor promoting the system. And as we were promoting the system, it kind of caught on, and now we're looking at California and possibly Oregon wanting to do the system. And then it got to a House bill through the hard work of John Leitner. It went up in front of the governor under House Bill 2569, and they had just passed the House bill. And then the bill allows for low interest and no interest loans for private agencies, and then for public like us, we're allowed to have grants for the programs. And so they'll continue to fund fire departments through the grant process.